Hey, this is Gino from the band Filter, and I'm here in the hang, so why don't you come on down? Check us out.
Celebrating nothing, and you feel a oh.
I love all types of different music, and I'm not going to be afraid to cross boundaries and be a hybrid of all this, be eclectic, and be, because that's what Led Zeppelin did, you know, jazz, blues, rock, psychedelic. I mean, they didn't care. They just wanted to do a lot of different things. So I think, and ultimately it became very original. And I think that, it's like, look at you too. I mean, one minute they're this really original band that's doing whatever they want to do, and then all of a sudden they're genre hopping. Like now we're a rhythm and blues band from New Orleans, and a record later, now we are the techno bands from the German, land, and we do the electronic. And it's like you guys are setting you're changing your musical sounds like your underwear, and you're not Neil Young. You're you too. So just go back to what you know. Just write beautiful music. Have an electronic song on the same record with a rock song, and maybe an acoustic ballad with a symphony. I mean, don't limit yourself. If I'm an industrial band, well, it's a good thing I'm bringing something new to that tired genre. I mean, it's like some guy screaming over a drum machine and a synthesizer, in my opinion. And it was done beautifully by like Skinny Puppy and Ministry and Night Sareb. But, when they say, what do you think is your music? I basically just say, it's alternative, it's rock alternative music. I mean, it's alternative rock. I mean, it's got guitar, it's just left of center. It's supposed to be, for me, it's supposed to be left of center from the Backstreet Boys and this formulated garbage that people eat up like idiots. They just, I'm not saying that they're idiots, but it's so safe and cute and packaged and, it's just like, ugh, I want danger. I want music that's scary and that pisses off your parents. My favorite authors, like, and I'm not saying I'm in any way in their caliber of writing, but I'm certainly influenced by the way they write, and what they write is what they know. And Charles Bukowski, Hunter S. Thompson and Hemingway, those guys lived a hard life, and they told you about it. And for me, it's like every single song has to come from deep within. I remember one song we did, a song called I'm Not the Only One. We had all this music, we had all this great stuff going on, but there were no vocals. And I was sitting in the control room hearing probably the worst news I'd ever heard, that I wasn't the only guy in this woman's life. And, it really broke my heart. And I freaked out, and like every guy has probably done, and I smashed my hand through a picture frame at my studio and went through the wall and broke my fifth metacarpal and had 7 stitches in a knuckle. And I was like, well, this has got to be worth something. This pain has got to come out somehow. And before they took me to the hospital, I just dumped out these lyrics for I'm Not the Only One. And everybody was like, wow, that was really, really emotional. And some of the producers, like Ben, wanted to go back and maybe redo or retouch up some things. And I was like, it's just going to spoil the magic of the song. I just like discovered the Beatles in the last couple of years. My family is kind of like a weird family. There are things you do as a Patrick. You don't drink Pepsi. You drink Coca-Cola. You don't use Miracle Whip. You use real mayonnaise. You don't listen to the Beatles. You listen to the Rolling Stones or the Who. You don't listen to the Sex Pistols. You listen to the Clash. So I was into this thing where I just kind of went through my life going, hey, I don't really listen to the Beatles. And so finally I was just like, wait a minute, what is the Beatles? What is John Lennon? What is Paul McCartney? And I bought every CD.
The first album, I love it, for what it is, but it's very monochromatic. The colors, the guitar tones are all the same. It's similar progressions, similar tempos. You know, the songs are fairly similar in a lot of ways, but it's great. I mean, it is what it is, and Richie, you know, it was made that way. It was made within um, I don't know how to say it, those limitations, you know. He did it that way. So in this one, we basically were a lot more open to do whatever we wanted. And we used a lot of different textures. I mean, we have cellos on this. I played mandolin. I've never played mandolin in my life. It is. It's very heartfelt, you know. It's very revealing too and candid. So some of the material, you know, I don't know if we'll do Miss Blue live. That's a tough song for Rich to do, just to, you know, to perform. So, you know, but other things, it's not like all like gloom and doom. You know, I think there's a lot of life-affirming things on the album. I think there's a lot of fun, lighter moments too. We mixed it up. You know, it's not just like a down and out kind of thing, you know, and I don't think it's very whiny. It's exploring, you know, he's exploring what he went through, and he's being real about it. There's kids out there who, and I worry, you know, about this with my son, but they're really disconnected, I think, and it's causing these tragedies that have gone down, and I don't really want to go into them because it seems to come up a lot in the things, but I think if people were more connected and, you know, there's a great line in Cancer when Richie's singing, "Hey, my children, what seems important won't last forever." You know, if they can get a little perspective on life and have a little fun and take, you know, don't not feel so much that the world's on their back, you know, instead feel that they're part of it and they're valid. I guess that's what I'd like them to walk away with. I mean, if you take a song like Take a Picture and try and mold it and pull it into something harder, or even to try and pull it into a lo-fi situation, which is like Stuck in Here or So Cool was, that would be like us basically falling back on what the first album had to offer. But this time around, it was basically like each song was a puzzle, and each song had its own internal kind of logic, emotional logic. So we just followed it to its own emotional conclusion. I'd have to say artist that changed my life was Peter Gabriel. Um, you know, obviously we play harder music, and I really enjoy cranking my guitar up to 12, but as far as texture and again, songwriting and song content, he really just, you know, for me, he does it. I was into the Police, I was into U2, and then I was also into my other, like Cure, Joy Division, you know, New Order after Joy Division and stuff like that, and the Smiths. And you know, I definitely went through that phase of that vibe, and I love the Cure stuff. I still do. So, and it's in my guitar playing, definitely.